All right.
Good morning. Welcome to Alexandra and Friends. We are at the most amazing place, the Purple Cow Branding Studio on Midway in Farmers Branch. Thank you so much. It looks like we have a great audience today.
Yes,
Thank
we
you, thank
do.
you, thank you so much for
Hello,
being here.
everybody.
We also have an unusual show today. So welcome to Alexandra and Friends this Saturday, the 3rd of August. And thank you again for coming on board and listening to us. Before we go any further, let me just invite our new co-host today, Kate Huey.
Yes. Hi, Kate.
Pleasure to be here.
Prayer. Good morning, Kate. Welcome.
Good morning, Kate.
Thank
Can you
you.
do
Glad to be
our
here.
opening prayer, please? We always
Yes,
do
ma'am.
one. Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Help us to be thoughtful of one another
Yes.
and have this podcast with an open heart. And we're very blessed to have the collective experiences and knowledge that we can just kind of vibe off each other with. And we just love you very much and help
Yes.
us to help other people. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank
Amen.
you.
And let's just take one little second also so that we can listen to the beautiful Clark family give us the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so very much. It's such a wonderful day to start, even in the morning when you get up after your prayer, to start with with the Pledge of Allegiance, because when you pledge your allegiance to something or somebody, it means very, very, very much. Well, we have an unusual podcast today because we have two wonderful guests, plus three of us co-hosts. And we also have G is our production engineer today with a very wonderful assistant by the name of Krista. So we really appreciate it. We were a little bit warm. We've had a little bit of air conditioned situation, but we are rolling as we should. Good morning, Miss Marshall. How are you?
Well, good
you look
morning.
beautiful as usual.
Well, you do too. How you doing? How was your week?
Very busy, thank goodness. And
Yes.
we're here. That's the most important, right?
Yes, we here at the podcast.
We have an
We do-
amazing guest today.
Do you see the audience today? It's just
all the way from
exciting.
Colombia?
Yes.
Mexico.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Very
and we have
vibrant.
as well in the
El
audience
Paso,
too.
name
Yes.
it. Oh my God.
Her name is Kate, and hi, Kate.
Oh wow.
This
Yes.
great. We just have a great audience today, and thank you for coming out.
Well, thank you so much. And as we get, we're in our 4th year, and we've always been in a separate place. And now we're at a wonderful studio that we can invite more and more people to have breakfast with us,
Yes.
coffee and donuts. And don't forget to bring your 10 cents so you can drop it on the bucket.
Oh well, we're looking for sponsorship too
That
as
is
well.
exactly
We're still
what I'm
looking
bringing.
for.
Yes, very much so. Well, we have a very busy morning, so let's start by remembering, if you want to look for Alexandra and Friends on our Facebook, go to alexandraandfriends.com. Make sure to like us and tell us a little bit of you to have any issues that you want to bring them front. And if you have a guest that has a story, we'd love to have it. I got a call from a lady that has somebody that's coming from China and would like to have an introduction. So we've got all kinds of wonderful events coming.
That's great.
So,
Before we get started too, let me just say hello to Michael Clark. Hi, Michael.
And
Hi,
Atlanta
Atlanta.
Glassman.
How we miss you guys. Michael Clark is also our producer, and Atlanta also is our co-host. Hello, everybody.
hello, everybody. Thank
And
you
then
so
we
much.
have a great guest today, so we let
Yes,
her.
we do.
Wonderful woman.
Well,
So we're glad to have her.
yes, we are, and she's going to be filling in for our co-host whenever we need somebody.
Isn't that awesome?
Don't take too much time off, okay? Well, welcome again to Alexandra and
Welcome.
Friends. Thank you for a wonderful morning. Let me introduce our new co-host, who will be filling in when Elena or Marshall need to be out. Her name is
Awesome.
Kate Huey. She is an architect. She's a beautiful lady, and my God, she is married and she has a beautiful baby. So tell us a little bit about you, Kate.
Well, I moved to Texas in 2015 for the job that I'm still at, HEDK Architects. We specialize in multifamily housing, both in residential and commercial circuits. And I met my husband and we got married in 2019, and we had our precious baby in 2021. He is a Marine veteran, and I'm a proud
Woohoo!
veteran's wife, and just very passionate about arts and culture and what it can do to help heal the community and edify the community, and just
Just bring the community together.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, I love
Well,
that.
Blessed
thank
to
you
be
very
here.
much.
I love
Well,
that.
Marshall, you want to tell us a little bit about you and your book so that we can move
Yeah.
forward?
Well, again, hello to all the listeners. I'm Marshall Johnson, aka Shelly Dobo. I'm an author. Also, I am the founder and owner of the Joy of Music and Movement, which is an arts integration for dance, music, and theater. My book is Shortcuts and Practical Ways to Survive Marriage, and you can find me on Amazon.
Oh, buy the books. We need the money. Thank you very much, Marshall. As always,
Oh, thank you, Miss Alexandra.
we have a beautiful library in this building. And if you
Yes.
are an author and you've been here before, we'd love to have your book on our shelves because Rob Bliss with Purple Cow Branding and The Meeting Place
Yes.
has done an amazing job to create this four walls into an amazing culture networking location. It is just absolutely beautiful.
Yes,
and what
it
he
is.
does every single day is amazing. It brings people together from all over the world, has all kinds of events. So if you're looking for a place to meet, come to the Purple Cow Branding Meeting Place. And he's got great membership. So we really appreciate Rob Blaze, who is our sponsor. And I'm so grateful to him for giving us the opportunity
Yes.
to be able to do this.
It
Yes,
really
we
is
are.
cool here.
It is.
It really
Yes.
is. It's worth it. It's worth the visit.
It's
Yes,
worth
sure.
it
Yes.
is.
Thank you so much for saying that. It's worth. You can come and just sit in the tree house, which
Mhm.
is unbelievable. You sit there. and
Yes.
it's like a little jungle by itself.
Right.
It's amazing.
You can try to describe it, but if you're here physically, you can really absorb how cool it is here.
Absorb it is.
Yes.
He's about art, music,
Everything.
literature,
Everything.
everything else.
Whatever you're
So
branding.
whatever you're branding, this
Mhm.
is the place to be. So we really appreciate it. Well, with further ado, we want to introduce our guest today because
Wow.
he's an amazing gentleman, and I got to meet him at the MetroCrest prayer meeting last year that the MetroCrest Chamber of Commerce put together with the city, and I was so impressed. And Rob just said we have to bring Blake. We got to bring him. So, with further ado, I want to introduce Blake Lindsay, who is the manager of outreach with Envision Dallas. Is that correct, Blake?
It is. Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm delighted to be here. And what a
Awesome.
nice place, just like you said. Even the
Awesome.
acoustics are perfect.
Yeah.
I
Well, you
mean,
have a beautiful voice.
Yes.
The next thing we know, we'll have a radio show.
well, we're excited to talk about Envision Dallas and anything else you'd like to know about total blindness. And I'm so excited for another guest that you're going to introduce that I
Absolutely.
call my little brother.
Your
He'll,
little
he'll be
brother.
talking in a little while.
Thank you. Well, why don't you introduce him since he's your little brother?
Okay. Well, Al Rodriguez,
Mhm.
we're not exactly blood brothers, but we certainly known each other for 16 years and just really enjoyed our friendship. And he works with me at Envision Dallas. He's our assistive technology trainer. And so he's going to explain that to you, but he is really changing people's lives for the better.
Awesome.
Not only people that lose their sight later in life, but people that have been blind for a long time that really want to get their advancement on technology.
Wow. So can you tell us a little bit about Envision and where it's located?
Well, we're excited. We just moved to the Metro Crest area. We're here in Farmers Branch. And for a long time, we were on Capitol Avenue, former Dallas Lighthouse for the Blind. And back in 2018, May 1st to be specific, we got acquired by some good friends of mine, Envision in Wichita, Kansas. Michael Monafrani is a wonderful CEO. And even though he is not blind, he's every bit as passionate. Al will tell you the same thing. He's as passionate as we are about the mission. We're the largest employer and service provider in North Texas for people who are blind.
Wow.
And we've got over 100 people who are blind or visually impaired working in manufacturing, in our call center. And we've just got an incredible place that we can hardly wait for you to see.
So all the people who work for you, are they blind as well?
Most of the people that work for Envision Dallas, around
Uh-huh.
80% are blind or visually impaired. And that essentially means totally or legally blind.
Okay.
And then we have some people that are supervisors and administrators that make up the other 20%. And so we have about 200 people close to that in the building. and well over 100 of us are either blind or visually impaired.
Can you give me a little bit more about the company you started, Envision? So, what is the products that you do inside of there that the um, employees are making for you?
Well, I bet you Al can help me on this a whole lot.
Okay,
We've been
okay.
making eyeglass cases for a long time. We
Awesome.
are working with ACU trousers, and we just picked up that contract a couple of years
Wow.
ago. And these are incredible trousers that are fire resistant and military. And so we're cranking out, I believe, 10,000 pairs a month on those. But we have a lot of military, but we also have commercial contracts. And one place we're growing the most right now is our call center. It's called Envision Interface, kind of a cool name.
Like that.
Yep, and we're about 28 people strong, but we've got a call center that will handle 100 seats, and we're excited about that growth because a lot of people want to do manufacturing, but yet there's a lot of people who would rather be in a call center with good communication skills and good computer skills that Al can help them advance on. And so we're excited about partnering with the Better Business Bureau. We've got a lot of contracts, 311 for the city of Dallas. If you want to know where your court case is going to be or your vehicle's being impounded,
Wow.
not the most pleasant topics all the time, but we've got great customer service there. And so there's 4 or 5 different projects that we're taking on, and we've got plenty of room for more. It's really interesting how we can adapt to your specific needs in the call center. Can hardly wait to have you come out and really listen to the buzz in the room and just kind of what we're doing all over. I can take you on a tour in about 1 hour. It used to be 45 minutes
Awesome.
in the other place. It was smaller, but now it's larger. We've got 210,000 square feet we're working with, and
Awesome.
we
Congratulations.
haven't filled it all up yet. We've actually
Mhm.
got room to grow. I believe we're consuming probably 160,000 square feet, so we've got plenty of room to grow for years to come.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay, you would like to ask anything?
I was just thinking, so I listened to your book via audio actually while I was working, and it was very motivational and refreshing,
Hmm.
especially I was saying earlier before the show started that um, you have this outlook on technology it's refreshing because you said to be encouraged by the technological advancements in society, and um, I, the main question that was popping up was, you know, you said that people with 5 senses, they have their own specific set of challenges, and I've heard that, like, if a sense is removed, that the other senses are heightened. And so to the tune of customer service, it seems like you're able to maybe like tune into how someone delivers, or like what kind of emotional state they're in, and
Oh,
how to
that's good.
de-escalate
that's very good.
situations,
Mhm,
things of that nature.
You're absolutely right, Kate. It's kind of
Mhm.
exciting. We use job access with speech known as JAWS primarily, and we also have Braille displays for those who prefer Braille navigation, and it doesn't even use any paper. It's just like a refreshable Braille display that you can connect with your computer. But the amazing thing to me is in one earpiece, you've got job access with speech, sharing the script or the database or whatever they're looking at the time. And in the other ear of the customer service person, you've got the conversation. So you're working with the conversation in one ear and job access with speech in the other ear, but you learn how to focus. I mean, we're talking focus like a laser beam on the conversation. And a lot of times, if they're dealing with a long script, which I've heard them do with different projects, we were doing some CCD. What was it, Al, that we were doing some surveys there for a while that were like 30 minutes. You had to keep the customer on the phone for the longest. And these guys would hear a couple of words of the script, but they had it internalized. And so that's all they needed to hear to proceed. And so it was very zero distraction.
Mhm.
It was amazing that they were able just to keep moving forward because they really knew the script. They just needed a couple of words to keep them in line on the next level of conversation. But that was the most amazing thing that we've ever done in the call center, because can you imagine staying on the phone for 30 minutes and being asked all kinds of questions? So the CCD campaign, that was back when COVID was a problem. And so medically, we were needing to find out all kinds of things. We were working with the university on that project, but sky's the limit on what we can do. But your senses are heightened because your level of focus on those senses is better. Listening is one of mine, one of my favorites, really. And so my ears are not better than yours are, Kate, but I can hear in a way like I've got echolocation. I can snap my finger and listen around me and tell how large the room is. whether
Wow,
there's
that's
things around me,
amazing.
and there's all kinds of advanced technology. Al
Yes, it
can tell you
is.
about these glasses that he wears, and it doesn't help him to see, but they've got AI technology that he can tell what's around him and
Wow.
all
Yeah, I
kinds of
noticed
cool
there's
stuff.
there's an earpiece on.
On the Al.
Yes. It's
tell
a Baja implant,
Mhm.
similar to the cochlear. For my situation, hearing aids are not able to help me out to hear. So this is through a conducted bone sound processor.
Al, can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit of what you do within the company? What is your actual? I know you're his friend, but what I'm sure he pays you for something, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Al's responsible for a lot.
Tell us a little bit about it, Al.
So I teach assistive technology at Envision Dallas. I've been doing this for almost 5 years. I'm certified through the state of Texas to, I guess you could say, pretty much teach. And I have taught from as young as 8 up to the age of 92.
Wow.
I also teach at a local school district here. It's going to be twice a week this school year coming up with 2 students that would be advancing into what Blake was talking about, JAWS, which is a screen reader. Like I said, I get students that come from the state of Texas that they send the service authorization. So it could be anywhere from keyboarding to learning Windows or Microsoft products or
Okay.
Fusion, which is a combination of JAWS with a magnifier, which is called Zoom Text. Although I can't see anything, but I've learned to master the screen with the magnification. At one point, I did used to see when I was a younger person.
Wow. You know, we're sitting here, we're talking about
Right.
the sight. The sight is very important. Actually, when I met Blake, my very good friend, Tara
Tara.
Strange. She's
Yes.
a friend of mine. She
It's
started
awesome.
going blind when she was very young, and I invited her to meet Blake, and she took a
Oh,
tour at
wonderful.
Blake's location because she started going blind when she was in her 18, 19 years old, and she
Wow.
even told her husband that she was going to marry that to leave her because she was going to go blind, and he said, "Of course not. I'll stay with you." But she toured the brand new Blake's brand new company, and she was amazed at how many people were there that were working, that were in her stage, because she thought she could not do anything, because when you're blind you think, well, I can't see, I mean, what am I going to do? But it's so amazing to hear what's happening in the world of technology
Mm-hmm.
and all these wonderful things. I am technology. I don't know anything about technology because I have a hard
No, you
head.
do. No, you do know something. You
But
do know
I
something.
tell
I like how Blake coined the phrase "handy capable."
Yeah.
Sure.
I like that.
Well, we love
Let-
technology.
Yes.
One of the things that we take pleasure in that we've only had for like a month and a half, we're still learning how to adapt with it, and they've got some tweaks to make, but it's called Blind Square. It's Blind Square.
Mm.
And so essentially what happens, it's Bluetooth, and you program all of these sensors around to be able to identify what you are looking at. So you can say drinking fountain is to your left,
Wow.
elevators to your right. And so you're using your iPhone and you connect with Bluetooth, and we're installing more gateways because right now we have some bleed over, so it's not perfect yet.
Wow.
But at some point, somebody's going to be able to go in who's blind, and they're going to be able to know exactly where to go.
It's
in
like
the-
painting a picture for you in real time.
Well, it's allowing you to know what's available for you, whether it's the drinking fountain, or the restroom,
Mhm.
Wow.
the
that's
men's
so
or
cool.
ladies. We don't want to get too confused about that. And so we're excited about that technology. But one thing you mentioned a little while ago about people losing their sight later in life that I notice is when they come to Envision Dallas, there's a kind of camaraderie there that I've never witnessed prior to having worked with Envision. I've been there for 15 years now. And I tell you, during that time, I've discovered that when people lose their sight, they need camaraderie with folks who've been blind longer than they have to show them the way. And so they'll
Makes sense.
come in there and they're learning all kinds of things through Al Rodriguez teaching them assistive technology. We've got orientation mobility. We got a full-timer named is Buffy. She's really good and has taught us how to navigate around the new huge place that we've only been. We just moved there before Memorial Day, about a week before Memorial Day. So we're brand new in this place. But between Blind Square and just learning navigation through Buffy, But the camaraderie is what I wanted to refer to, because when people lose their sight later in life, it's devastating. But when you can get around people who are being productive and love their gig, and they have friendships, it's like a family environment over there.
Absolutely.
Then I tell you what, they lose that sorrow that they're feeling for themselves. They
That's
really
right.
get beyond that, and it helps them to be equipped quickly. And Al can tell you about people like Raymundo Anthony, a good friend of mine, and he's so exciting. He lost his sight when he was 65 years old.
Oh, wow.
So he had a 40-year career in the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
but this guy had the right attitude. And Al was one of the first people that got to work with Raymundo. And so Ray became acclimated with what it was like to be blind. And I mean, within a couple of months, he was like, man, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be at all. And I'm learning how to use the iPhone. I'm learning how to use my computer. And I'm learning orientation mobility. And so there's a lot of things that Ray picked up in short order because he had the right attitude. And now he's been blind for just over 5 years. But in that time, he's been an ambassador. And he tells people that Envision Dallas has been a lifesaver for him. And I wish we had his voice to say it, because that's what he says all of the time. And it's people like that that make me enthusiastic more all the time. I become more passionate about the Envision mission every year.
It helps to know you're not alone,
I was
you
getting ready
know,
to
and
say that.
that someone's it's
Mhm.
specific to what you're going through. It's awesome.
We've all got hurdles to hop over, and we can certainly help each other in that process every day.
Absolutely. I also have a question as well. If someone is going through the process of knowing that they're going blind due to glaucoma or something that health-wise that come into their life, can they come
They sure
to?
can.
Okay.
Yes,
Is there
Marshall.
someone? Thank you, Blake. Is there someone there who can counselor that particular person to help them realize that even though you're losing sight, there's so much that you can still learn or you can be, just to help them to get across this process?
Often what happens, we'll get a phone call. Either I'll get it or Al will get it, or our receptionist, Sam Jackson, he might get the call. But all three of us are totally blind, and we can identify with every facet of Envision Dallas and what we do in the way of very constructive education.
Okay.
And I mean, our mission statement, we cover education so very well. And it's one of those things that people need. I think orientation mobility is the first thing that anybody losing their sight ought to learn,
Mhm.
is how to navigate and get around, because that makes them feel very independent. And then the second thing they might want to learn is how to use the iPhone, because man, that phone has more apps available today than we could have ever imagined 20 years ago. It would have been a joke that we would have got a good chuckle out, 20 years ago. But what's happened is that iPhone now has a money reader app, which is at least a
Mhm.
decade old. It's free. And you've got all kinds of, you've got Be My Eyes. And those are volunteers that come on the phone with you. They can see through your cameras all around you. And so they can help you identify the best outfit if you're single. And I've got my wife, Jennifer, to help me out every day with that. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Jennifer does
Well,
it.
you look awesome today, Blake.
Well, thank you very much.
You do,
Thank you,
do.
Jennifer. But it's really great to have this technology through the iPhone.
Okay.
And that's what Al teaches people right away, is some of these apps, and he helps them to install all these wonderful apps that help people. Even Be My AI. That one scares us a little bit because it's becoming a little too human for our satisfaction here, but we're excited though, that we have all this support now, that technology is just getting better all the time.
What's Be My AI?
Be My AI. Well, I tell you, you could be around, let's say, a big boardroom table. It's got 20 people sitting around, and you're looking for that one empty seat. It'll help you find it.
Oh, wow.
It's what all does it do, Al? Tell me about Be My AI.
Be My AI, basically whatever's in front of you, it uses the rear view camera of the phone, and it will let you know what's around with description. That's been around for about 1 year, and that's to improve whether you're trying to read personal documents or just to describe a picture. Now, there's another one that's called PixieBot. Now, that one, to me, that one beats Be My AI.
Why? Why is that?
Because it will tell you it's an actual the G4 that's using in the background
Mhm.
that processes everything, and it will tell you what's around with basically a voice telling you, but it's all artificial intelligence. and it will give you a description. Like one thing I did not know this, but last month I was sitting in front of the airplane, and I just happened to take a picture, and it basically described the logo of the airline. And I did not know that it was an actual blue heart with lines.
Mm.
So I reached forward and I touched that heart.
How about
Yeah,
that?
I mean, it does an amazing job with videos as well as your pictures
Mhm.
that you have saved into your phone. It does that description too.
Explain the glasses that you got a couple of weeks ago, Alvaro.
So these are the Meta smart glasses. They were not meant for blind people. So these glasses basically, you can use them. Well, you take a picture and you say, describe image, and it will say in front of you is an audience or a window with whatever the view is. You can do video calls to have someone either assist you or even read documents or just simple
Wow.
questions. Yeah.
Al can take a photo and send me a perfect photo, and each side of the glasses there has
Mhm.
its own camera.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is, he was looking at a sign in front of him, and he was asking Meta what was in front of him, and it told him there was a Braille sign there that was upside down. And guess what? It was correct.
It
And
was.
Al reached forward, and I couldn't believe that it knew Braille so well, but it's got a database, and so it was looking at Braille, and it made that determination immediately that the thing was upside down. So Al was able to turn that right side up, and so that was pretty amazing to me. I was a little shocked myself at that.
Yeah,
Al, I
and-
have a question for
yes.
you. If any of the people that work for you or that are interested in getting some kind of a glasses or this kind of equipment that you're familiar with, do they order it through you, or do you tell them, or is there a store that you identify, or how does this work?
So what I tell people, these glasses are through Ray-Ban.
Mhm.
I always tell them, look, it's best to go get fit for them, because number one, we all have different shapes of heads and
Mhm.
sizes.
Mhm.
So you want to make sure that they fit you perfect.
So are they like goggles or something?
No, I actually have them in my pocket. I can show you guys.
Okay,
Oh,
because you
okay.
said fit, so I was just wondering if it goes around your head.
They're
Or
as
just in-
lightweight as sunglasses.
Okay,
They're not
lightweight
any heavier.
sunglasses.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Oh, they're
Yeah.
Why
nice.
don't
I
you
like-
show it to the camera so she can grab
the
it on
frames
camera?
Put those on real
Nice.
quick, Al. Let them see what they look like on you.
Okay.
Well, they're just regular glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple
stylish,
glasses,
nice.
transitioning glasses,
Nice.
and they connect with my phone. And
Oh.
like I said, I'm able to do
Okay.
quite a bit of things. I chose the transition glasses
Uh-huh.
once I go outside to get dark. But
Did the case is it just like a
Oh,
okay?
yeah,
There's like a
the case
light
actually
to-
charges the glasses.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
Thank you,
it's-
Jane.
Yeah.
I just saw the
So-
light on the case and I was like,
Very
Yeah,
good.
these
That's awesome.
glasses are, they're affordable, I would say, for anyone. They're around $300. There are other glasses out there that were made for people with blindness that are close to $5,000.
Wow.
And none of
So-
us could afford them. We all wanted them, and they were
Yeah.
incredible. But then Al came with these glasses just a couple of weeks ago, and I put them on, and the speakers are perfect. And plus, it doesn't interfere with anybody's conversation that they're communicating to you. So you don't have things in your ear, but yet where the speakers are located, it uses a certain part of your bone there, and it sounds perfect.
It does.
You've got this voice that just as clear as a bell, and telling you what things look like, and you could read with them also, right, Al? You
Yes. Yeah, and one thing, going back to the Braille sign, I had to get on with my staff about that too, because they put that sign about 6 feet up. On, like, first of all, a blind person will not even know to reach up there to see that.
got to be
Mm.
7
read
feet
it.
tall.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
okay.
relocated that sign, and I told them very clearly. I mean, I love to advocate a lot for people, like myself, and that are becoming new to the blind world as well.
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
that's
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Yeah.
I
Go
have
with-
a couple of questions for Blake because I was very enthralled. That you were listening, Kate. You were listening to one of his books.
yes, ma'am.
Video. Well, I'm reading on his little bio, and he has written 3 books:
Yeah, 3.
Out of Sight Living, A Sightless Person with Pure Vision, Blind for a Purpose, Turning Life Challenges into a Purpose in Life. in overcoming obstacles. So, how long did it take you to write these books, and when did you start writing these books?
Well, I tell you, my favorite book by far is Overcoming Obstacles and Getting Extraordinary Results.
Mm.
That's
And
the one
this
I
book,
listened to.
Is that the one you
Mm.
were listening to?
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
Kate was taken back with it was amazing, she said.
this book talks about the amazing leadership at Envision Dallas. I use as an example, and also Bank of America, where I got to work for around 7 years.
Yes.
And Dallas area rapid transit was pretty good as well. I worked there for a while. But what I'm finding is there are some leaders out there that just inspire you to be your best all the time. And that's what we like, is people that encourage you. They want to know about your family and
Mm-hmm.
different things. It's really a form of servant leadership. But I wrote about what leadership really has meant to me, and as far as my motivation in various jobs that I've had. But it talks about there's 10 of my favorite stories that are most life learning, the lessons I got to learn. And there's 10 great stories in there that are very true stories, and they're verifiable, obviously. But it was just fun working with certain people, and even my parents, who were really some of the very best mentors anybody could ever want to have.
Oh, that's wonderful.
wonderful.
And I got to work with Zig Ziglar, and he was a very
Yeah.
motivational man who really walked the talk like nobody that I've ever met before, and outside of my family. And it was great to get to work for him. And then now we've got a wonderful leader, Michael Monafrani, over at Envision Dallas, that believes in what we're doing. And when we talk about a sign being up too high for us to be able to reach, a lot of that was just the construction people and not our own staff. So we hadn't had a chance to lower that yet, or to really consider that. But we've got a team that really cares about us, and so it was fun to write about a couple of people that we have on our team. I was really able to share some stories. But writing that third book was fun because my dad was a scholarly writer, and so at
Okay.
the end of each chapter, there are 3 questions that we want you to ask yourself. And my dad helped me with these self-assessments, and to me, that's one of my favorite parts of the book, because it really gets you to think through a lot of things.
Exactly.
And at the end, there's an accumulative, easy for me not to say, but easy to put together about 20 questions there at the end that you can really reflect on. And so it brings out the meaning in the entire book by having Dad's touch in there. And so I'm glad that he got to really help leave his legacy. My dad just turned 85, and he just retired. He
Oh,
just
that's
just now,
awesome.
yeah,
Well, that's good.
just
Is your
retired
mom
in the
still
last month.
living? Is your mom still
Yeah,
living?
mom and dad are
Okay.
85 and 6, and they're doing great. They been married 63 years here on August
Oh,
20th.
that's
Wow.
awesome.
So they're setting the example, and I'm just glad to have loving parents, and Al does too. I notice his mom I've known for a while, and she just loves him the right way,
Y'all both
and
come from big families? Are you from big families, or Al, you come from a big family, or?
Yes, I
Okay, well,
have
how many siblings do you have?
3 brothers,
Mhm.
and let's see, I'm sorry, yeah, 4 brothers. I'm sorry, my father remarried, so it's 4 brothers
Okay.
and 5 sisters.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Oh, that's
Nice.
good. That's
Oh,
nice. You
wow.
come from a big
I've got 3
family.
brothers and a sister, so just
Yeah.
5 of us.
That's wonderful.
I'm gonna get a little personal for a
Sure.
second.
Okay.
How old were you when you started knowing that you were going blind? I read your bio and said infancy. How old were you?
Well, it happened when I was 9 months old. It was a cancer called retinoblastoma, and my mom and dad fortunately discovered it in time to save my life. And it would have been really rough
Oh,
to lose my life over it. But they noticed my eyes were looking unhealthy, and they also noticed the biggie was during feeding time, and I wasn't opening up my mouth as alert, and so they knew that something was wrong. And finally, got the right panel of doctors that discovered the answer was cancer, and they removed it successfully. And other than some skin stuff from too much sun, I've never had a relapse of any cancer in my life. So I
Great.
thank God every day that I'm
Yeah.
alive, and it's
That's
a
right.
great day to be alive and to be able to
Yes.
help other people at Envision Dallas that are going through sight loss. We just really get an opportunity, Al and I both do, to help people discover what they can be after blindness, and
Wow.
it's not the end of the world at all.
That's right. Also, I want to ask a question. We're going to go another gear up. So we're going these levels that you've been going in your life and changing people's lives. Also, you talked about in your bio that you have done producing nationwide radio and television commercials as well. And I thought that was very interesting. So, what environment at the radio station or TV stations what drawed you into doing that due to your condition? Do you also still do that this very day?
I do. And several years ago, I used to listen to the radio when I was really young, and there was such high energy.
Mm-hmm.
People were always giving away cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a really great environment that I wanted to be a part of. And so I got excited about radio when I was 11. Then I was able to go to a vocational career center just before my 15th birthday. And so I got a good career there. And WJEL was the radio station, my original. And I had a couple of air shifts a week that I really got good. We had a very strict teacher who had worked in Detroit, and he had worked in major markets. And so he knew what he wanted to get out of us. And I'm really glad about that, because by the time I was 18, 19, I was doing middays at K98 in Austin, Texas. And so I was able to get a good job early on.
Awesome.
And it did make me not want to go to college. And so I regret that a little bit. I've got some good junior college experience and got some certificates on the wall, but I've just had a lot of good hard knock experience, and have been able to have a full career in communications. But Blazin Blake Productions is my company. And with Blazin Blake
Okay.
Productions,
Blazin Blake
you-
Productions.
yep, you can go to blazinblake.com and check that out. But I do a lot of imaging and branding for radio and TV stations, as much TV as radio. And
Awesome.
I do a lot of commercials, and I do a lot of website development when people want to describe, what their company is all about in 30 or 60 seconds. They can give me a voiceover and they script it for me. And that's always a lot of fun to be able to do. And then they can put graphics and pictures and all that. And then for the Nasher Sculpture Center, right here in Dallas in the Arts District, I've been working with them for 7 years, and they asked me how they could become more blind friendly. And they already had a lot of
Awesome.
great ideas without my help. But I told them, I said, audio descriptive narration on your sculptures, if you can have those. And so we've got over 40 of them complete. And they send me these wonderful scripts that are very colorful. And they're about 2.5 minutes long.
That's awesome.
And you can download an app on your iPhone or Android or whatever you have, your smartphone there, and then be able to hear these at no charge, of course, and you can be independent. And so if you have a person who sighted with you, you don't even really need their visual description, although my wife and I really enjoy those opportunities together. It's kind of fun to be able to have her tell me what things look like. But if you're solo and don't have anybody with you, no problem. In 2.5 minutes, you're going to discover everything there is to know about the artist, what their motivation is for the sculpture and what it looks like, and pretty cool stuff.
Well, you are listening to Alexandra and Friends.
You are.
That's right.
You are.
And
You
we
are.
have awesome guests today, and we are on all platforms. Okay. And I just wanted to say, Blake and Al,
Yes.
it's been a blessing to have you today. So, Kate, do you have any more questions you want to ask?
I'm just like, is
today?
time up already?
Oh, we
Yeah.
got about 10 more
We
minutes.
got,
Oh, okay.
So we
It's
wanna-
just
we
like
wanna
time
get-
flies
I
when you're
think-
having
I
fun.
think Kate's eyes just get
Just like getting bursts of inspiration.
Yeah, her eyes get bigger and bigger by the moment.
That's what I do, Kate, too. I'll be like, it's over.
Oh my gosh! Especially when you start talking about the art and all that.
Yes.
It just,
Yes.
it takes
Very
Kate.
much
So,
so.
Kate, you better take advantage of it now.
I think probably one of my heaviest hitting questions is, as far as where you're at now,
Mhm.
what are some of the obstacles and challenges that you're currently working through, whether it be beta testing? I know you were Al, you were talking about some of this technology is fairly new, and I'm sure there's learning experiences along the way with that. But what would you say? And this question is to both of you. What are some of the main challenges that we need to work through,
Oh, good question.
whether it be awareness or however?
Well, I would say the main thing, we're going to speak about technology to navigate as websites that are not labeled properly. And that's one thing that can make life a little bit uneasy, but we can get around it with proper software. And that's one thing that I always encourage companies when I do assessments on websites, is for them to make sure that things are labeled properly, whether if it's images or text.
And we can kind of help consult with that if anybody ever needed any direction on how they could become more blind friendly with their site. People like Al, it's called 508 compliance is what we called it for a while. There's actually a mandate. I don't know if it was ever enforced or not, but
Mhm.
And Al's right about the software. A lot of times that's advanced enough now that it helps you 80% of every situation. Really, if you have it properly labeled.
I have one question for Al.
Yes.
Al, could you tell us how anyone that's watching or has interest in coming to Envision, could you tell us how they can get in touch with you and your company, and what's the address, and what do they need? What is, if I know that someone is going blind and I want to refer them to you, how do they get to you? Do you have your information that you can give it to us?
Yeah. So number one, they can reach me via email or my direct line at Envision, and I'll be more than happy to talk with you guys. Whatever struggles you guys are going with vision, um, my direct number there is 214 or my email there, which is Al. So it's Al dot Rodriguez, RODRIGUEZ at envisionus.com.
And this information will be on alexandrafriends.com, on our website, and on our Facebook, our website. And we also want to let you all know that we are now on YouTube. Alexandra.
Oh, good for you.
Hey,
That's
on
awesome.
YouTube.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're not,
Yes.
we're very tiny. I started one morning. I decided I wanted a show, and I started Alexandra Friends at 660 The Answer, and it was just kind of crazy. And I've built it 4 years now. So now we're Rob Bliss, Alexandra Friends.
Well, Rob, you've got a great place out here. And guys, thank you so much for
Oh, thank
having
you,
us. And
Blake. It's
Thank
been
you for being
great.
here. We have one question from an audience. Can we pick it up real quick? Yes, ma'am.
I just had a question about, do you share with the people, doctors, surgeons, ophthalmologists out the city, out the country?
we do have a lot of communication through Amy Burcham. She's Dr. Amy Burcham is our optometrist, and she handles our low vision clinic at Envision Dallas. It's called the Beacon, and she's got a clinic that she helps to optimize people's remaining sight through resources, through tools, and her knowledge is incredible. And she's a great communicator. So really anybody in or out of the country that wants to communicate with Dr. Amy Burcham, and we can get you her number as well. But our website is envisionus.com, envisionus.com. And we hope you'll take a tour right here in Farmers Branch where we moved to. And we're so excited about the new facility. And we're excited about Alexander and friends. And we're going to be checking out your podcast often. It sounds like you all are very informative. And Al and I will be learning a lot of stuff from your podcast, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Oh,
hope so.
we learned a lot
Thank you
from
so
you.
very much. This is what we are moving. Our show is going to
Thank
be
you.
moving to questions and answers when you come. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. That was a great question. Al, we're coming to the end of our show here real soon, so I want to just kind of get an input from you. How old were you when you found out that you were blind? And I know it's a personal question, but
Sure.
I'd like to understand.
Not a problem. So I
Because
was.
it sounds like you're very involved in everything that technology that it helps the blind person.
Yes. So I was actually 4 when I had an accident. I was playing in this playground in school. You guys remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, the slides, they were about 12 feet high, the metal structure.
Oh,
So I was pushed off the slide. I hit the side of my head, and my mom noticed that my vision was changing within 6 months. So at that point, my retinas were detaching, and I had quite a bit of surgeries. So up to the age of almost 9 years old, on May the 1st of 92, that's when I had my surgery. It was supposed to keep my retinas attached. And keep in mind, I mean, I was using glasses. So, I mean, I was pretty much walking with and reading large print. So my vision started changing. So my retinas declined right at, on May the 21st. But, school was already out for the year. And that's where the ISD sent me to the summer program to basically adapt to blindness and using a cane as well as learning Braille. So by the time I started the third
Wow.
grade, I was somewhat familiar. And ever since then, it's been a wonderful, life experience.
I
thank
love
you. I
that. You
love
said
that.
wonderful
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing I always tell people, um, I always tell them that blindness is not really something that I always have in my mind. Sometimes there's times that I forget that I'm blind. Yeah, it's
Yes.
just
especially
know,
with those
Yeah.
glasses, right?
yeah, yeah. There's, like one thing that Blake always, said, and I'll never forget this. This is one thing he didn't tell you guys, but in 1996, he came and spoke to us at a Technology Olympics
Hmm.
event, and he said that it was the best time to be blind because there was so much technology out there, and that is so true.
And tell him how old you were then, Al.
14.
Al's known me most of his life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll
he's
tell you,
been a
we've been
great
really,
mentor.
really good
I
friends.
love that.
Well,
Yeah.
Kate, Marshall, I
It's
want you have the
Alexandra.
opportunity to close the show with your best questions for the day, because everything is on our podcast. Will be on any of the social platforms that you use, and just listening to them. It gives you another
So
another
inspirational.
inspiration.
Yes, it is.
And
So
Kate, this is your first
inspirational.
show, so you had the best show. I mean, the best guest ever. So,
Yes.
do you have anything to
Thank you.
close for them that you like to hear more?
I feel like I have a million questions.
You only have that one.
Exactly right.
No, I
Right.
think it's great that
Yes.
we have resources,
Mhm.
and to be in further contact. And I just had one quick question. So both of y'all were able to see before you became blind, so you were able to see color and things of
Mm.
that nature. And so it just made me think about people who have been blind since infancy, and like, how would you describe color to someone? You know what I mean?
Well, my description really is through other people's eyes because I was 9 months old and have no memory, no recollection whatsoever of having sight. So, infancy,
Wow.
it's almost like being born blind almost. And Al was sighted till he was 4 years old.
Yeah.
But even that, you're just learning colors. You're just learning what things look
Right.
like. So, but people that lose their sight, say at age 18, they keep these images in their mind the rest of their life, probably. In fact, they can even dream for a while that they're still sighted in their dreams because the
Yes.
subconscious still remembers what it's like to see for a while, and then it kind of fades in a few years, but you never forget colors. And so
Right.
Jennifer and others tell me what colors look like all the time and what things look like. And so I really feel like I can see through other people's sight. Just,
Oh,
mostly,
that's amazing.
very
That is so
beautiful.
good.
I don't feel like I'm missing out. Now, if I got my sight back today, I'd probably chuckle because
Yeah.
nothing would look like what I think
What
it
you
might. But
imagine. Wow.
it's at this point in my life, I wouldn't want to get my sight back,
Mm.
although it would be kind of fun to know what it's like for a couple of minutes and be able to have that glimpse. But my life has been successful, and so has Al on being blind and being able to help other people
Absolutely.
One
in a
thing-
special way.
Yeah, one thing that I always tell people sometimes when I do my speech engagements is that, in my case, when I do dream that I'm still able to see, which is funny. Sometimes I wake up laughing in my certain dreams. But one thing, to keep in mind, people that were born totally blind,
Mhm.
it's hard to distinguish a color because their brain has never processed light as far as through the retina. So,
Uh-huh.
it's like, if you guys imagine this or picture this, I can say, the sky is very blue with the clouds, and are grayish. Someone that was born blind doesn't have the idea what blue or gray or even the color black or white looks like. But it's all about the imagination, like Blake mentioned. And
It really is. It's
yeah.
all imagination, really,
Wow.
for me.
Yeah.
We want to continue the subject. I want to
Cool.
see if you will consider coming back and do a second show. because
Yes.
we have so many questions, and I
Yes.
can see Kate's eyes that get bigger and bigger at the moment.
Yeah.
And I can see it. And I think that this will be a wonderful opportunity to bring you back and talk about where do you go from here? What happens? What's
Well,
the next
thanks.
step? So,
Yes.
One thing I wanted to say to Kate, I know she's into architecture, and we have all these rails that you can feel. And Al can tell you, like in manufacturing, we've got these yellow rails. At least they tell me they're yellow. Are
Yeah,
they
right.
yellow?
Yeah, they're really yellow.
Okay. Just
I can
making sure.
testify.
But also with your cane, you can feel these strips. And so it keeps you online, and it keeps you knowing exactly where you're at in manufacturing. And then eventually you don't even need them anymore. But I still do. And because I don't get manufacturing every day, I'm the outreach and communications person there. So I get into manufacturing sometimes, but architecturally, you can really make places that are big, blind friendly, with rails and little things on the bottom. It's really cool. Kate, you got to come by and see it.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
awesome.
That is wonderful. Then we've got an invitation.
Yeah.
I'm
And Kate
coming
says,
too,
"I'm
Blake.
coming."
I can attest to that, though, like where you said with technology and the
Mhm.
advancement and how it's becoming more and more accommodating, and like that's how the architecture industry is as well, with ADA considerations and,
Right.
and implementation, and it is a fascinating and evolving subject. So yes, I'd be more than happy to stop by and discuss all the different possibilities.
Cool.
See all the
That's
equipment.
awesome.
Yeah.
I see our producers
That's
kind of telling
awesome.
us it's almost time to
Yep.
leave, and so we want to
Okay.
thank you so very much. First
Thank
of all,
you.
Blake, thank you for taking
Thanks,
the
Blake.
time
This was
and on
awesome.
Saturday with your beautiful wife that you
Thanks,
could be doing
Al.
something better.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, not better. This
Well,
is
that's
great.
all right. I was going to say something else. Not better, but greater than this.
Well, you're
okay?
very welcome, and it's a real privilege.
And thank you for bringing Al, because what a team.
Oh,
This is
yeah, this is
absolutely- this was
yes,
amazing. Even though I
yes,
have to sit behind you.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
He's my little brother, and I knew that Al would
Yes.
bring a lot
I
of
am so
insight for
glad.
us.
That's
Thank you.
First of
awesome.
all, I want to thank your beautiful wife for taking
Thank
the time
you.
to escort you here. And thank you so
Yes.
very much. She's gorgeous, and thank you. And she's wearing a red, kind of a lavender shirt, just if you didn't know. that.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Just letting you know. Al, thank you so much for taking the time. And
Thank
we
you.
have to do this again, because I
Absolutely.
think Kate has tons of questions.
Yes.
And
Next time we'll bring technology to show you guys.
Marshall, thank you again.
Oh,
for-
thank you
for
so much, and
wonderful-
thank
this
you
is-
for our
this is
special
amazing,
guest. It's
and oh my gosh.
amazing.
So we're going to close the show like we always do, and I'm going to ask Marshall to take us out and give us a note. Get a little. By the way, Marshall's a singer also. Okay.
Ah.
So we're going
Awesome.
to get her to close the day with a wonderful note that she knows
Ooh.
how to do.
I do a
it.
little bit.
Little bit. Thank you
First, I
again for
want to say
listening.
this before we go to. Thank you to the audience. Thank you to the listeners, and thank you so much
For the
for
people that-
tuning in and listening to us every first of the month, and also I think the end of the
last
month, the
Saturday of
last
the month.
Saturday of the month. So again, thank you, listeners. We appreciate you as well, and we thank you for the audience that came out today. Because without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. And one more thing, I love the guest today reference to purpose of life.
Amen.
That's the book that kept hitting my head when Blake was speaking. We all have a purpose of life.
Amen.
And there's a reason why things happen, a reason why situations come in our lives, so we can inspire and help someone else make it. So I just wanted to say that before we leave, but I'm going to sing just a little bit. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I was lost, but now I found. Was blind, but guess what? But now I can see. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Al.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
What an amazing. If you're listening to Alexandra and Friends, we will see you the next show.
Bye bye.
Wait.
Mm.
Yeah.
Chills.
Are we still? We're done? Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Blake.
Thank
oh my
you.
gosh, what a great show.
Yeah, it was fun.